Hi, everybody, and welcome to this week's podcast. I'm going to introduce you to some new volunteers here at Direct Line, Ken and Gloria Kashner. I'm going to spin this camera around so you get a chance to see them. And this is Ken and Gloria. Ken and Gloria have been with us now for a couple of months here. And just want to maybe start off and have you share just a little bit about your background with me, if you could, please.
Okay, what influenced me in my Christian life is that my parents, especially my mother and my grandparents, are the ones that prayed me through to salvation. And we came from a family that were prayer warriors and were used in prayer. And in that I was a prodigal, their prayers and influenced my life to draw me back to God. So seeing that in the churches we were in, and definitely in our own home, and raised in a home where prayer was an issue. We were raised in home prayer meetings and things. So it affected our lives when we were younger. So then when we got saved, and we were also in a church where they were prayer warriors and they prayed all the time. So it affected our life as Christians. And from the very beginning of our walk with God, we made time to spend alone. In fact, we started an hour of prayer every night in our beginning of our Christian walk, and seeing the power of prayer and the influence of prayer and the presence of God answering prayer. It's just become part of our life.
Gloria, what kind of answers have you seen to prayer over the years?
Oh, many answers. We were just sharing with someone about a little 6-year-old girl that had brain damage, and God healed her, and she ended up in regular school and was doing real well, and her mother gave her life to the Lord. There was another one I just thought of, that there was a young woman in her 20s that had 2 little boys that had blood poisoning set in her hip socket when she was 2. And so when she walked, her hip kind of flew out, and it was very uncomfortable for her to take care of these boys because they would take advantage of her. And one day, myself and another woman from the church, we were stopping at our old church. They were building a new one, and I felt like we should go into this church and do a little prayer time before we went out to the new building. And so I said to them, did they mind? They said no. So as we started in, this woman that had this missing hip socket, I looked at her and I said, I think her name was Leona. Have you ever thought of asking Jesus to heal you? And when I said those words, she burst out crying, went to the front of the church, and of course the presence of the Lord settled on us. And so every time as a young Christian, I was only saved a couple weeks, and as a young Christian, every time the presence of the Lord would fall, I would close my eyes and just start worshiping. So I closed my eyes and started worshiping the Lord, and when I looked up, Leona was walking across the front of the church, and as she was walking, her walking became less and less of this hip socket that wasn't there, and her hip wouldn't go out.
Wow.
Like it was, and she was totally healed.
Wow.
And so we couldn't wait to take her to the new church where the other women were working and say to them, look what God just
Here, walk
did.
in front of them, show
Yeah.
Well, you two remind me of a couple of kids in a candy shop.
Yeah, you're right.
You're having fun with Jesus, and we're so glad that you're here with us at Direct Line. God bless you. Thanks.
God bless you.